when Spitz came in, it's like it's like he grabbed the beat like little nigga, sit and he just like slowed the tempo down, but he didn't fuck up the song. Like usually when people slow
hem you up real quick,
right? Them niggas up like church pants, like you know what I'm saying?
Just, you know.
And like again, bro,
like flooding over there. Pick that up.
But yeah, your flow, man, is something that I was always like, yo, like.
I appreciate it, man.
Like, how does this nigga do this?
Did you get a chance to hear Frames Per Second, my latest album?
I think I only saw the video.
Okay, take your time with that one. Like, I honestly think if you felt like anything of the previous work, like from the past, I think you would really appreciate this, cause where I'm at now is definitely I've definitely leveled up from where like the stuff that I've written in the past, lyrically, and the beat selection is much better that I've been using. I got Q on there too. Like actually the one feature that I had on there.
I think I heard that joint too.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure I heard that.
Like, and then when we did that live, we did that at the High Low. We took that and kind of did like a jazz kind of ensemble kind of flair to it. So it was dope, man. Like
you always struck me as like a jazz type of artist.
You think so?
Like you got that type of aura.
I like that
what
shit.
I'm saying?
Like I like the roots, and I've always kind of liked how they did jazz and kind of did the jazz hip hop thing. And I was in a band before, so I've always liked that hip hop band kind of mashup. That yeah. Like, I'm a sucker for them boom bap beats with, like, the horns in the background. You know, all day. And so, you got me there. For sure. Yeah, no doubt.
Like, so, Roots, who else would you say, like, influenced you musically or that always caught your ear, whether you're young or your age now?
Common. Yeah,
Sure.
I'm a big fan of Common. Like, I've seen Common perform like maybe 4 times in my life. And just always, I really liked how he would just freestyle, like, about anything. Like, he just kind of he always made being a rapper cool to me, actually. You know, like how a lot of people rap and shit like that? Common has got that, like, I can make these big records, and then I can still, like, you know, come to Chicago and still freestyle with you, like, on the South Side. Right. Shit. Like, that's Common for you. Like, he'll do that. You know, I've seen it. But, Common, Black Thought, like that's one of my top 5s. Let's see, Lupe Fiasco, just because he was always like, he was kind of one of the first rappers who I really saw like be cool with being himself. Him and Kanye.
That's true.
That's the thing. Like him and Kanye, it was that like they made being yourself cool.
Right.
And I've always been about being myself because. You should always be yourself. Absolutely. You should never not be yourself. You should try to know yourself as much as you can and then get better at being that person. That is what is called an icon. That's what people, you know, iconicize with people. They like him because or her because this person is so much them and so much original and organic that we ain't seen before, that I can gravitate and relate to, that I want to be like that. And I might want to sound like that or do something like that. Right. So when you get that dope at being you, like that's the real like W.
Yeah.
That's the real flex.
Because you don't have to, like, wearing that mask is tiring, stressful.
Yeah.
You know, like, bro, like, it's inviting, like, certain energy to your life that, number one, is not really valid to you. You just haven't sat down and realized it yet. Like, why do I want this type of energy or attention anyway?
Yeah, facts.
You know, like, because you haven't really thought about it and you're just doing shit. Like we said, you're just doing shit.
Yeah.
And then you're seeing somebody else do shit where they may authentically being themselves, you know what I'm saying? But you're not them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and you can't even understand why what they're doing works so well for them.
Right.
You know? And it's because you may have not sat with yourself enough to kind of understand what works and what don't work. You know, like my little brother. Like, I love my little brother, but, like, he, you know, has to be around people and kind of has his need to have, like, you know, people at his apartment. And he don't understand, like, you're inviting all different kind of energies around you all the time. And you wondering, like, why you're around this and why this is happening. And it's just because you're around too much. Yeah. You need to spend some time with yourself. Yeah. And a lot of people, that shit is scary. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, like, it's times when I've sat even in my apartment in Chicago, which has been good for me living in Chicago because a majority of the time I've had my own place. So I've had a lot of time to be in my own space and think with my own thoughts and form my own routine and stuff like that. And I've been able to really sit with my good thoughts and my negative thoughts and really sort out, hey, this is how I feel and this is what I want to do and this is who I am and this is what I think. And like wanting to go into that instead of like, you know, wanting to go do other things to get me away from thinking about that stuff.
You're right.
You know, because you can't run from those things. It's going to show up somewhere, you know. Like either if you don't address who you are, like or what's going on, it's going to show up when you go to parties and when you go to the bars and the clubs and when you have business relationships. It's going to show up there somewhere if you don't address it within yourself.
And it's only going to be at a time where you don't want it to.
Yeah.
And it's that now you ain't worked on it and you're like you don't know how to react to how you acting.
Well, like when you held off on getting that oil change in your car for that damn long, and then your car just fuck up and it's like not right. You're like, oh man, what the fuck? And you're on the road,
exactly,
going from St. Louis to Florida. Type shit. We probably know about that shit, you know?
Because at that time in real time, that's when you realize you lied to yourself this whole time. Damn. And it's just like again, like I don't expect anything from anybody who lied to themselves, like anything good out of it, even if it's unintentional. I'm like, hey, ain't no good from me fucking with you if you lying to yourself, man, because you either gonna get me caught up in some bullshit, or yourself caught up in some bullshit.
You lying to yourself, you lying to me.
Yeah, and like that's the thing. Like a lot of people don't realize that they've been lying to themselves. Because it starts out like, you know how like you tell a white lie? Yeah. It's still a lie, fam. Like, you know what I'm saying?
It's
like,
a lie.
A lie is a lie. The truth is the truth. And like, it doesn't matter if it's a little white lie about yourself. If you don't address it, you know, like you just let it, like you said, like an oil change, it just gets worse and worse. Now your fucking dashboard look like a Christmas tree.
Straight up.
And it's just like, the fuck you gonna do now?
Real talk.
That's just how shit be going, man. But that, you ever notice how we notice that more in adulthood, though? Yeah. Like, as teenagers and maybe college students, it's okay, you know, because that's the figuring it out.
Yeah, it's those are the things that we're giving more allowances for. Yeah. Those are things that, like, you know, people looked at like, well, he was young, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're not going to try him as an adult for this, even though you fucking ran some people over. And you're 17, like, there's a story where this just happened. But anyhow, yeah, it's like we're giving more allowances for things like that in our adolescence, in our youth. And we don't realize that, okay, you're a few years from being considered an adult. And then when you become an adult, these things are still not sorted out. You know, like we were still all kids at a point in time. We just grew up. Right. We just grew up with our shit, you know, and either we addressed it over the years or we didn't. But now we adults and now we got bills and kids and responsibilities and things that we got to be accountable for, and all our personalities and egos and feelings are in all of that. And, you know, like some of us are still dealing with things that have not been addressed from when we were young.
Yeah, that's facts.
You know, like I'm happy though that, you know, stuff like, you know, issues with my pops, like I didn't hash those out. Like we not exactly cool right now, but it's one because, you know, my father did something that I felt is disrespectful. You know, like in this time that I got into it with my mom's, like he decided to, you know, use that as an opportunity to kick me when I was down. And I'm like, I really kind of just need your help and support with this, not for you to kind of diss me on what it is. But, you know, it's more like, I know who this person is. I know my father. It's not, I don't know him. We ain't ever met or ain't none of that. I know very well who this person is. You know, so that's cool for me. Like, it's people who I know who don't know their father and wish they did. And I'm like, hey, sometimes, like, if you did know your father and know all the things, you might say, hey, man, like, I'm cool on this person at times. Yeah. You know, but it's, you live and you learn. That's how I look at it.
Relationships with parents is always, I don't want to say tricky, like it's a bad thing, but it can get tricky. Like where it's sometimes it's again, different people are raised differently. Yeah, and like so, you may have a situation with your pops that I'll look at you like, the fuck you mean, nigga? Like like, but that's because absolutely me and my dad have always had a good relationship. Like if it ever went bad, it was my fault. Like truly, like because my dad's very, like, chill, laid. He's more chill and laid back than I am. So if I I'm usually the one that have like an attitude about something.
Yeah,
and he's
agree.
never like that. So like our relationship has always been like cool.
Yeah.
And my mom's the same way. Me and my mom is more outspoken, and I'm not super outspoken unless when I'm on here or something, you know. And so I'd be like, oh man, my mom talking too much. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but I'm glad she's here to talk too much.
Yeah,
that's what brings me back in.
Right. Well, think about that.
She's here to talk too much.
Yes.
Because
I can still get words. I still know her voice.
At some point in time, it's inevitable. She ain't gonna be here to talk.
Yeah, man.
You know, and like that brings me back in. Like, oh, chill the fuck out, man. What the fuck you doing?
Right. Whatever you
like,
tripping on, it ain't really.
It ain't worth that.
Yeah.
Living.
Yes. Right. Because it could be over, and it's people out here that have literally killed their parents, bro. Like you hear stories about them, and you think about your relationship with your parents. You're like, I could never do that.
Yeah.
Like even though like we don't agree on things, I could never do that. I would much rather just walk the fuck away, just like and just do what I gotta do.
We are all evolved versions of our parents, so it's kind of like it's like let's say we're wrestlers, like Olympic wrestling, and our parents taught us how to wrestle.
Yeah.
Pretty soon we're gonna be able to beat them at their own shit.
Yeah.
So like you've called me out on my bullshit. Like now I'm in my 20s, 30s. I can call you out on your bullshit, and they're not used to that.
This is where all my problems start.
So, but then you have some parents that can again sit with them like, all right, damn, I was tripping. But then you got other parents who's like, no, we are going to keep defending this. We're going to keep going at it.
That's my,
like where
those are my
waves.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, we cool now. But then here comes the tidal wave, the tsunami's coming, and it's like, oh shit, we back at it again.
Whenever I talk about anything to like my moms and pops, like now, it's like, Maury, you got to get our age. You ain't our age yet. Like, you talk to me about any of the shit you talking to me about when you get my age. Like, until then, like, you ain't got here yet to live that. And in my head, I'd be like, what the fuck does that matter? Like right now. Like, it's like, yeah, I get it. I'm not, like, pushing 60 yet. But still, there's things that I know, too, that you probably didn't know when you were my age because times have changed.
Yeah.
We can still connect these ideas without it seeming like I'm trying to, patronize you by telling you something. Like, in this whole... Because my parents have this position of, like, I'm the parent, you're the child. That's always going to be, no matter how old you get. So, you'll never really be able to teach me or tell me anything because I'm the parent. I brought you here.
That's not how learning works. That's how knowledge don't work that way either.
And this is kind of where I'm at with my parents. Like, I'm just more like, well, how do we talk about anything? Like,
right.
Well, y'all ain't really telling me about nothing either. Like, so what the fuck? Like, y'all ain't teaching me shit. So, like, where is our, like, cycle of knowledge going on here? You know, like, and it's
my daughter's 4. She teaches me stuff all the time.
Right, and you're reciprocative of it, right?
Like, that's... Again, that's what makes life worth living to me.
You're like, okay, like shit. Like my daughter was saying this today. You know what I'm saying?
Again, like, okay, as a parent, one of the things I learned is that, or a goal of mine, I should say, was, all right, what did I feel that my parents did well for me in raising me, and what did I feel like, hey, I didn't really mess with that too much, and like just kind of. Like blend some of it. Yeah. It's like, yeah, I didn't like that, but I just don't like the way you went about it. So what if I tweak it a little bit when I'm dealing with my child?
In your parenting.
Yeah, in my parenting. And like, cause one thing I don't like yelling at my child. I just don't do it. Yeah. Even when she does something that egregious, like draw on my wall or something. Like I don't yell. Like I don't want her to think it's okay, especially a man, yelling at her, where she's gonna be frightened. You know what I'm saying? And that's something that I wasn't raised like that. There's nothing but yelling. You know what I'm saying? No matter who was watching me, you're getting cussed out, yelled at. Of course, it was all in love. It didn't fuck me up or nothing like that. Yeah. Because I have a very loving family, like across the board.
Absolutely.
But there's some things where I'm just like, nah, I'm not doing that. And then I'll give you a good example. My daughter, kids get into this age usually when that on the way to kindergarten, like era of their lives where they're very nosy. There's always a question. Why? That doesn't annoy me. It's just I need you to keep asking why and never stop asking why. It's like always
that's
ask
wonderful.
me why.
So many parents who got like a problem with that now. Parents even my age got like a problem with that now. Like, why and I'm just like, they need to learn. Like, it's more shit to learn outside of a school. Like, keep going.
So I'm at my parents' house. My daughter's there, and my daughter was coming down the stairs or something, and she's like, my mom was like, come and eat. My daughter said, hey, what are we eating? And she's like, my mom's like, whatever I cook. And I looked and I was like, no. Like, I don't like that.
Yeah.
Like, she asked you like a question out of just like curiosity.
Right, that's a legitimate question.
Yeah, and I get, but how my mom was raised, my granny did the same shit. Yeah. Where it was kind of like, don't question what you getting food regardless. I'm feeding you. Yeah. You're gonna eat it.
Right, it's not even gonna be no question for you to say you don't like it or nothing.
Because it comes out of the realm of we're blessed to even eat and eat under a roof. Yeah. I get where it comes from, the foundation of it.
Right.
But then she was curious. The curiosity. I'm like, so when she asked me Daddy, what you cooking? Pasta. What type of pasta? Why? Because this is what I felt. This is what I had a taste for today, and it eventually stops. Because then she's like, "Oh, okay." It's just like it's clarity, and that's their idea of clarity. Now, does it get annoying? It can, but it's just like I'd rather her ask me why all the time because pretty soon those whys are gonna start dwindling,
and and
you're gonna miss those whys.
I'm telling you, especially
where it's like now, because again, I don't never want to be a parent. I don't want to put her in a position where she resents me. That's one of my biggest fears. Where she's like, can't talk to my dad. Don't feel like talking to him.
And this is the stage where like that sentiment could be created by like different things that you do. So it's very like respectable that you're mindful of those things because a lot of people kind of parent almost with like a dictatorship,
fear.
In a sense, where it's like, okay, this is what I said, and you have to do this. Not realizing that you're raising somebody that's going to become an adult someday, just like you, and that you want them to kind of know some of these things that can kind of help them be better in the world. You want them to have confidence. You want them to have integrity. You want them to have a sense of like a voice to where that they can be able to assert themselves in the world. Now, you don't want them to talk back to you and not listen to you and be disrespectful to you and not do the things that you want them to do, but at least be able to set the precedence where, okay, this is here for you to do and I've established this and you do that.
Right.
That's that. And if you don't, we're going to talk about it. I ain't got to beat the shit out of you, but I do have to have some corrective, discourse about why I need you to do the things I need you to do.
Exactly.
And when I ask you to do it. But, like, wanting to beat you down because you didn't do it is wrong.
Right.
And that's what is going to put the fear in. It's like if you explain to them that there are rules, that, like, you got to go by these things. You're going to go up into a world where it's going to be rules bigger than this. There's going to be bigger things on the line if you don't follow them.
Right.
You're going to want to follow rules in a sense, Later we'll talk about rules, how rules can maybe be broken. We ain't gonna talk about that right now.
Right now, I need you to eat this broccoli, nigga.
Yeah, right. Nigga, I need you to have a certain amount of vitamin C, like in your diet. Like broccoli is heavy in vitamin C. I need you to have that. Like,
exactly.
I need you to have fruits. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna go to school and they're probably not gonna give you that. There might be some artificial shit there. So I gotta correct that at the crib. It's a lot.
Man, you told me you was working on a documentary, man. Talk about that, bro.
Wow. Okay, so let's start this. Has anybody heard of this group called Illegal Assembly?
Anybody? I haven't heard of it.
Okay, so before, like, there was Nelly, Chingy, Jaquan, Sexy Red, anybody out of St. Louis that was hot. There was Illegal Assembly. This crew was, like, equivalent to, like, they were like St. Louis's Public Enemy.
Okay.
Let me say that. Like, they were definitely organic, real hip-hop, and they were popping like in the mid 90s. I think they kind of wrapped up around like 96, 97, kind of up in that era. But a lot of us were like way young then. Like much of us weren't even, I think, even into hip hop when they was out. But nobody really knows about these guys. Like, and they were doing their shit. And they got a lot of, memorabilia. Like, they got a lot of, like, people who, like, knew them. They got a lot of history. And so I'm going to do a documentary on the Legal Assembly.
That's fire.
I'm going to really, like, let St. Louis know just how much, like, we have, like, a history in hip-hop that goes, like, before, like, Nelly and Chingy and Jaquan and, respect to, all of, like, the stars out of this city. But, like, that is, like, when everybody says St. Louis, they think, it's Nelly, Country Grammar, and that's it. And I'm like, no, that's not enough.
Right.
That's not. So I think this documentary would be really good to kind of, paint St. Louis in a sense of like, yo, we got hip hop here. Like we everybody who raps here and gets busy now, like it come from something.
Yep.
We already had people who were like really for the culture here already.
How deep you into it so far?
Nelly. Well, I've been like interviewing them, like sitting down with them. I just recently met them a while ago.
Okay.
Like about a month, like about maybe like 2 months ago.
Okay.
And so the engineer, his name is Lenny. And he's just like really into the stuff that I'm doing. So like they want to produce for me, and they got a lot of really dope beats. Like,
that's
for real.
fire.
And he's like, man, like anything that you want to kind of change up, like I can do it. Like he's got this one beat that he gave to me, and it sounds like something that could go on like Fast and the Furious. Like, and I wanna get to a point now where I can start licensing music and like being like we were saying intentional, right?
Yeah.
I want to be intentional about where I position the music at that I'm doing. So this will be a song that like could definitely be in like a race car movie or something that's kind of like fly like that.
That's tight.
And I mean, shoot, from what Cat Williams said on Club Shay Shay, they got a few more Fast and the Furious movies to go.
There you go.
So this track could slide up in one of them.
Exactly.
Too
That's
Fast,
fire.
Too Furious 14 or some shit.
These niggas is on the moon.
They on right. They got spaceships in them for real. Like every car in there will be a Tesla at that point.
Right.
And I hope not. But yeah, man. So that's how kind of far I'm in. I haven't started any filming or anything. I'm just kind of getting like the feel right. I know the direction I want to take on it.
Yeah.
So that's exciting, like for me.
Man, yeah, you gotta keep doing that. I love documentaries, so that's something that like
Me too.
Like that I'm praying, bro. Like you just like stick with that. Like
I'm gonna do it. I've already got my mind like to that I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I have to do it, like cause ain't nobody else doing it. You know what I'm saying? And like there's one thing, and two, every time I like mention like their name, people are like, I've never heard of them.
Right.
And I'm like, I haven't either, but like people need to.
Now it becomes a duty.
Yeah,
Like,
it's like for me to be like as much as I love hip hop and the culture and all that, as much as I love St. Louis, I'm like we need to see this.
Yeah.
We need to do this. And if I'm gonna be behind the camera and I'm gonna do this, I gotta make this look the way that I have to really show this in the light. So I gotta do some traveling because they got a guy who's in LA who's a good friend of theirs too, and they want to go out there and do some stuff too. So this is gonna happen over the course of this year.
Okay.
So, but I just put out Frames Per Second, so that's out now. I'm just circulating that, getting some more traction with that. Definitely been getting a really good response from that. The streams is looking good. I just kind of want to keep like my branding going because in previous years with Lavelle Spitz, I kind of slacked off on a lot of that. And with Velcro, like that's kind of that's who I'm under now. Like that's been more organic for me. It's like this. That's what I'm more like. That's my Ready for the World like stage name. That's what I'm going with. Yeah, it's just been all green light from that. So
As it should be. Like,
yeah.
like what would baby Velcro be most proud of Velcro I'm seeing now?
Man, I would say, sure, I could. Well, Velcro is actually still new. Like, to be honest, like, I kind of really started going by this maybe like 2 years ago. But I would say this, if I could restructure the question. I think Lavelle Spitz would say, bro, I like that. I like where you went with this. I like where you went with dude. Like, you put more shit out, like, with him. Like, you want people more to know, like, the stuff that you're doing, you know? Like in previous years, I was just always being more modest. I was always like, I'll drop it, put it out there. If people see it, they see it, you know? I'm still going to put it out and do all of that. But now, I'm like, since I've become more of a content creator, doing more videography, and I know editing a lot better, I'm like, I can really, like, spearhead, like, my campaign a lot better in ways that is organic for me to really push my brand. Yeah. So it's like, do it. Hell yeah. I think so. I would say, like, Lavelle Spitz is more like, yo, like, thank you for leaving me where I'm at in growing yourself to a like, because essentially that's what I did. I just pretty much, like, just reinvented myself a little bit, and been kind of doing that more and just kind of seeing how that works, you know. But being more outspoken about what I'm doing. Like, I definitely think with frames per second, I was more focused on actually marketing it in, like, a way where people could see it. You know, where I could, you know, brand this. I was putting more ads on some of the posts that I was putting out and getting some good response from that. So, yeah, I definitely am, you know, trying to, you know, assert more of my brand. And, like, I've had to have more confidence with that, you know. So, I'm still learning what that felt like, you know.
The moral of the story, living with intention.
That's it.
That's it. That's all, baby.
You know it.
But, wait. Let them know the socials, where to find you, Brody.
Oh, always, yeah. At Velle Crow, Velle, you know, Crow, if y'all could spell. And pretty much that's it, yeah. Velle Crow on all socials. Tap in with me on Facebook, Spotify, Instagram. You'll see me mostly, you know, I'm on Instagram. I got a TikTok too now, actually, and that's actually dope. I actually got a TikTok like a few months ago. Like, I was one of, like, the people who was real, like, I don't really know about TikTok, you know what I'm saying? But I fuck with TikTok. Yeah.
I fuck with that shit.
TikTok cool, you know what I'm saying? Like, so yeah, I'm on there too. But I definitely tap in. We got a lot of stuff coming. This is not the last for any of us. So we got a lot of stuff in the works, man.
Absolutely.
I'm excited about living because in living you continue to be able to put out more shit, you know? I'm going to say this. When COVID was going on, that inspired me to want to be creative and be excited about the creative shit I could do. You know what I'm saying? I was doing a lot more mushrooms during that time. And
That's
I was
fair.
And I was really excited about, like, making beats, making videos. I felt like, yo, I was like Superman the whole time. I'm like, bro, with the talents that we got, like, you can either go hard in your shit or take the time to go learn some new stuff and then dominate that. And that just got me more excited about life. I was just more like, how can anybody not have anything to do in this time? So I'm motivated, y'all. That's what it's all about. Yeah, Velcro. That's me. Thank y'all for having me.
Man, no problem.
Great show.
We're out this bitch.
You know it. Love.